I know how to catch the thieves." Long, long time ago, there wandered an old man, a figure as enigmatic as the paths he trod. His journeys carried him from village to village, each step weaving his legend into the fabric of countless lands. He was no ordinary traveler, nor was his quest for mere sightseeing. This was a man cloaked in the allure of wisdom, his eyes alight with the spark of cunning trickery. He was a seeker, a sage, a trickster, intertwining lessons of life with a playful mastery that left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those he encountered. The old man, with a lifetime etched into the lines of his face and stories dancing in the spark of his eyes, was a figure of intrigue and respect. His reputation preceded him, a tapestry of tales where wisdom and cunning interlaced to teach, to guide, or sometimes to admonish. Villagers far and wide spoke of how, with merely a word or a gesture, he could unravel the complexities of human nature, bringing to light what was veiled in darkness. On a day when the sky painted hues of amber and gold across the horizon, heralding the end of another cycle, the wise man found himself at the edge of this particular village. His arrival was quiet, almost unnoticed, but the air seemed to whisper of change, of a new chapter, about to unfold in the annals of the village's history. The village itself was a mosaic of life, where each stone and stream carried stories of yesteryears. Yet, beneath its picturesque tranquility lurked an unease, a discord that rippled beneath the surface. Thefts, petty yet persistent, had sown seeds of distrust among the villagers, disrupting the once peaceful coexistence. Accusations were whispered in the farm and marketplaces, and suspicion cast a long shadow over the hearts of many, particularly towards two young boys, Obina and Brimo, who found themselves ensnared in the web of doubt and rumor. Into this scene, an elderly gentleman made his entrance, blending into the background, yet carrying a purpose as evident as the morning light. With a disposition open to comprehension and a wit as sharp as a knife's edge, he began to integrate himself into the village's daily existence, his senses finely tuned to the rhythm of its inhabitants. Unknown to them, the groundwork was laid for a teaching they would long remember, a display of sagacity and cunning designed to shine a light on the deepest aspects of human behavior and, possibly, bring balance back to a community on the verge of unrest. As the new day unfurled its light over the village, the old man, now a silent observer within its bounds, found himself amidst the ebb and flow of village life. His presence was like a gentle breeze, felt yet unseen, as he listened to the murmurs of discontent and the tales of suspicion that wove through the air like smoke. It was at the market square, the heart of the village, where he chose to reveal himself, not with grandeur, but with a simplicity that spoke of deeper truths. He approached a group of villagers, their voices a blend of frustration and despair, as they lamented over the unresolved thefts plaguing their community. With a voice that carried the weight of years and the warmth of the sun, he interjected, "The seeds of discord are often sown in silence, but it is in speaking that we find the path to understanding." His words, though met initially with skepticism, soon captivated the listeners, for there was something in his demeanor that hinted at a wisdom born of experience. Seeing their interest, the wise man continued, "I have walked through many villages, seen the faces of many souls, and in each place, I have found that the truth has a way of revealing itself, sometimes in the most unexpected of ways." His gaze swept across the faces before him, each marked by the trials of daily life, yet all united in their search for peace. He then made his offer, a declaration that would change the course of events in the village. "I propose a solution, a way to uncover the truth behind these thefts that have cast a shadow over your lives. But," he paused, a twinkle in his eye, "it will require a leap of faith, a trust in the wisdom of a stranger. A murmur of disbelief spread among the villagers, but curiosity was a potent force. One of the elders, his face etched with the skepticism of age, challenged, "And what if your plan fails? What then of your wisdom?" It was a question that hung heavy in the air, charged with the anticipation of those gathered. The old man merely smiled, the kind that spoke of confidence rooted in the countless tales of human nature he had navigated. "Then I shall leave your village as quietly as I arrived, and you shall lose nothing but the time spent listening to an old man's tales. But if I succeed, then let it be known that even in the most tangled webs, wisdom can find the thread of truth." The challenge was set, and a bet was made, not of riches or goods, but of belief in the power of wisdom over doubt. With the agreement sealed in the presence of the villagers, the wise man requested the names and abodes of the suspected youths, Obina and Brimo. His plan, cloaked in mystery, was set into motion, a test not just for the boys, but for the village itself, on the nature of trust, suspicion, and the quest for truth. The following dawn, as the village awoke to the routines of life, the old man made his way to the local wine shop, a place of laughter and stories, where he would find the two boys and lay the foundation of his intricate plan. Little did they know, their fates were about to intertwine with that of the wise man's, in a lesson that would echo through the annals of the village, long after the resolution of their tale. The wine shop, with its warm glow and the hum of conversation, served as the perfect stage for the old man's intricate plan. As he entered, the change in the atmosphere was palpable. Curious glances were cast his way. Whispers hushed slightly before the buzz of conversation resumed, albeit now tinged with a thread of intrigue. Obina and Brimo, known faces in the locale, were there, their laughter ringing clear above the din. To them, this day was like any other, unaware of the turn their lives were about to take. With a practiced ease, the wise man positioned himself near the duo, his demeanor one of casual interest. He greeted them, his voice subtle, inviting yet unobtrusive. Suspicion flickered briefly in their eyes, a natural reaction from those accustomed to scrutiny, but it was quickly veiled behind polite, if cautious, smiles. As the hours unwound, the old man wove tales of distant lands and lessons learned, stories imbued with wisdom and wit. Laughter softened the initial wariness between them, and the barrier of suspicion gradually crumbled under the weight of genuine camaraderie. It was then, in a moment, carefully chosen, that the old man saw his opportunity. He turned to Brimo with a benign request, a trifle really, asking for assistance with something outside. With Brimo momentarily away, the atmosphere tensed, charged with an unspoken anticipation. Upon Brimo's return, the scene that greeted him was one meticulously crafted. The old man, leaning close to Obina, appeared to be whispering something of significance, though no sound could be heard. Brimo's re-entry was marked by a palpable shift in dynamics. The old man, noting Brimo's return, seamlessly continued the conversation, the remainder of their encounter passing a blur of stories, but a subtly undercurrent of tension threaded through the air. Upon the old man's departure, a casual farewell that belied the gravity of what had just been set in motion, Brimo's curiosity could no longer be contained. He pressed Obina for details on the whispered exchange, only to be met with genuine confusion and denial. He said nothing of importance, Obina insisted, yet Brimo's doubt, once a mere flicker, now burned intensely. The following day, they met the old man in the market. Their encounter with the old man again further brought more distrust into Brimo's heart. The old man's casual greeting to Obina, singling him out with a familiarity that seemed to exclude Brimo, further fanned the flames of distrust. During the night time, under a cloak of shadows and moonlight, the village lay silent. Obina and Brimo had aimed to steal an expensive piece of jewelry. The target was the residence of a well-to-do woman, known for her collection of exquisite trinkets. The moment they entered the woman's house, every step was laden with the weight of their fractured bond. The stillness of the night amplified the sound of their breaths, a rhythmic reminder of the danger of their endeavor. In the dim light of the moon, filtering through a window, Obina's fingers finally closed around the coveted necklace, its gems glinting like stars, caught in a net of greed and desperation. But it was not the triumph of the theft that marked this moment, but the ensuing discord between the two boys. Brimo's sudden refusal to let Obina keep the necklace, insisting instead that he should be the one to hold it until it could be sold. This led to an argument that followed, accusations and denials. In a twist of fate, it was their own turmoil that led to their downfall. A vase, knocked over in the heat of their scuffle, crashed to the floor with a sound that seemed to echo through the corridors of the house. The noise was a clarion call that stirred the sleeping household. The woman, roused by the disturbance, confronted the intruders as they were about to escape. Her alarm, a piercing cry in the night, summoned not only her family, but also the neighbors, who quickly rallied to her aid. The boys, caught in the act, their faces illuminated by the light of lanterns and the glow of betrayal, found themselves ensnared not just by their actions, but by the unraveling of their own trust. Dragged before the community, the boys knelt in shame and began to be interrogated by the community elderly men. This made the two boys to start arguing in anger. Brimo's fury, unbridled and accusing, targeted not only Obina, but also the unseen architect of their downfall, the wise old man. Their argument, once private and contained within the bounds of their partnership, now unfolded before the eyes of the village. Each word, heavy with the weight of confession and betrayal, exposed truth that could no longer be denied. In the midst of their turmoil, the call for the wise old man to stand before the community was issued, a summoning that carried the weight of revelation. With the village gathered as witness, the stage was set for the unveiling of a truth that would challenge the perceptions of all present. The wise man, with a calm that belied the gravity of the moment, stepped forward to weave the final threads of his lesson, a revelation that would illuminate the consequences of their actions and the intricate dance of wisdom and deception that had ensnared them all. With a voice steady and clear, the wise man began to unravel the mystery of the preceding events. "In the pursuit of truth," he stated, "one must sometimes navigate the shadows of deceit." He recounted the steps of his plan, from the whispers to the deliberate provocation of jealousy and mistrust between the two boys. Each detail was laid bare. The old man revealed that the whisper was, in fact, a silence filled with empty words designed to sow doubt in Brimo's heart. This struck a chord among the villagers. It was a poignant reminder of how easily trust could be shattered, and how the seeds of jealousy, once planted, could grow into a thicket of betrayal and conflict. As the wise man concluded his explanation, a hush fell over the crowd. The lesson was clear. The truth had been obscured not by the lack of evidence, but by the shadows cast by their own doubts and suspicions. The boys, their heads bowed in the weight of their guilt and the realization of their manipulation. The verdict was swift and unanimous. Obina and Brimo were found guilty. They were detained in the palace cells, a consequence of their actions, and a period for reflection and atonement. However, the story did not end with their punishment. The wise man, now referred to by some as the old deceiver for his cunning methods, took it upon himself to visit the boys during their detention. These visits, though initially met with resistance, became sessions of profound reflection and learning. Through tales woven with wisdom and insight, the wise man guided Obina and Brimo towards understanding the value of honesty, transparency, and contentment. Over the months, the impact of the wise man's lessons began to show. The boys, once consumed by rivalry and greed, started to exhibit signs of change, a shift in perspective that spoke to the depth of their introspection and the sincerity of their desire to amend their ways. As the wise man prepared to leave the village, his departure was marked not by fanfare, but by a quiet recognition of the transformation he had instigated. The villagers, skeptical of his methods, still viewed him with a mixture of respect and awe, understanding that his trickery was but a tool in unveiling deeper truths about human nature and the complexities of community life. The legacy he left behind was not just in the lessons imparted to Obina and Brimo, but in the reflection his actions spurred within the entire village. As the boys served their sentence, the story of their fall and gradual redemption became a catalyst for change. That is all for this video. Click the subscribe button to get more stories. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. You can also give a super thanks too. Cheers, friend!